Prince Harry has suffered a new blow as US officials have tanked his application. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef, the Alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye, and oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this madness, shall we? Now, which application am I talking about? Well, did you know that Hazza put in an application to try and trademark the Sentebale charity? Oh yeah, and the US officials were like, not happening. Goodbye, there's the door, shut it on the way out kind of situation. Absolutely insane, right? And so, yeah, Richard Eden says that as Hazza's relationships with his family has absolutely deteriorated, he's apparently had consolation that the charities he's established continue to flourish. But as he's in London, he might want to have a little bit of a back glance at California because, the bad news is here. But it's also back home as well in California because, as Richard Eden writes, his other great charitable venture, Sentebale, founded in 2006 to benefit African orphans, has, I can disclose, fallen into trademark difficulties in the USA. Thwarting, for now at least, plans to expand his operations in America. Saying perhaps inspired by the appetite of Megxi for wanting to trademark pretty much anything and everything under American Riviera Orchard. Hazza had hoped to secure a trademark for Sentebale for numerous categories himself. Among these were mental health care services, psychological and mental health counselling services, provision of immunisations, campaigning, organisation of conferences, seminars, courses, workshops, other events, production of audio and or video recordings. Like, oh my goodness, it's an absolute mouthful of what he wanted to actually trademark under Sentebale charity, right? But the US Patent and Trademark Office was like, not a chance, Hazza. Try again in like a million years' time. Saying that there were no conflicting trademarks, gave the application the thumbs down. In a detailed ruling, they pointed out that many, if not quite all, the categories are inadequately defined, littering its letter of refusal with the phrase concerned too vague inserted alongside category after category. It also rejects the use of and stroke or as a term generally not accepted. So the whole application was too vague and generally not accepted. Oh my goodness, you can't make this shit up. This is funny as hell. Explaining that these deficiencies must be rectified in a second attempt made within 6 months, it says pointedly, an application must specify in an explicit manner the particular goods and services or on or in connection with which the applicant uses or has a bona fide intention to use the trademark in commerce. But you know, that's not all. Accounts filed here in the UK with the Charity Commission shows that donations to the charity from the American Friends of Sentebale Foundation halved in a year, down from more than £1.2 million to £610,000. So yeah, not only has the Archewell Foundation suffered an immense drop in donations in their last charity tax filing, but Sentebale has as well. Ooh, I'm seeing a pattern here. But yes, as Richard Eden concludes, time perhaps for Hazza to go tin rattling in Montecito, the enclave for California's fabulously rich, where he and Megxi snapped up an £11 million mansion, which by some accounts has 16 bathrooms and by others a rather intriguing 13 and a half. Oh my goodness, the shade and sass at the end from Richard Eden. I'm like, yeah, I'm absolutely here for it. But yes, Prince Hazza's application to trademark the Sentebale charity was absolutely rejected by US officials. His application sunk like a battleship. Not happening, not in this lifetime. Now, you might be thinking, well, hang on a minute. there's another application that we're more concerned about. What's going on with his US visa situation? Because if you've been in this community for quite a while, I've been reporting it pretty much since the beginning. What is going on with Prince Hazard's US visa application? Well, at the moment, we're still at the same point as we were around about this time last month. Hazard's visa application has been handed over to the judge, as the judge did rule in the last hearing that yes, the US Department Homeland of Security had to hand over the application to the judge so the judge could see it and decide whether or not it could be released under the Freedom of Information Act. And so, yeah, as we know, this high-profile lawsuit has been brought by the Heritage Foundation in Washington, D.C. against the government, wanting to know essentially if Hazard did disclose his past illicit substance usage or not, as he detailed in his book, Spare, saying that, look, the public have a right to know whether he was given favourable treatment due to his royal status. A court filing seen by Newsweek read, the defendant, the US Department of Homeland Security, respectfully informs the court that it has complied with the court's March 7th, 2024 order by submitting declarations with attachments for ex parte in camera in private review. Bear in mind, though, that they were given, I think, until something like the 21st of April or something along those lines. They were given a certain deadline to actually hand that across to the judge. They went back to the judge at that point and said, can you extend the deadline? Because A, we can't find it, and B, when we do, it needs to pass a few other departments before it gets to you. That was stupid. It's as stupid as turning around and saying, sorry, teacher, I can't hand in my homework because my dog ate it. Absolutely ridiculous, right? But the documents were submitted via an encrypted link, the filing said, to Wright as well, of course. Department of Homeland Security, as we all know, has maintained from the outset that it cannot release Hazard's visa records as it would breach his privacy, arguing courts consistently hold that a person's visa or immigration status is private, personal information, exempt from disclosure. But the Heritage Foundation say that there is a public interest in knowing whether Hazard was honest on his visa application or not, and also turning around and saying, look, Hazard has actually brought his immigration status out into public knowledge anyway. More recently, in the Good Morning America interview, when he was launching the 365 days to go until the Canadian Invictus Games, saying, do you know what? I've considered actually going for full residency, being a full-time, bona fide American citizen. By putting that out there, the Heritage Foundation have turned around and said, look, Prince Hazard has already pretty much disclosed his visa status. It's out in the public, so there's no privacy to violate because he's already put it out into public sphere anyway, which I would certainly agree with. So, yeah, in terms of the visa application situation, that's where we're at the moment. The judge is looking at it, seeing if, yes, it can be released under the Freedom of Information Act, and hopefully, fingers crossed, any day now, we will be receiving essentially a ruling from the judge as to whether it will be released or not. But in the meantime, the other application that has submitted to trademark the Sentebale charity has been denied by US officials. Whoo! Is this a sign of things to come with his US visa? I wonder. With that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, believe me, of course there's going to be more, then make sure you subscribe to join our alternate tribe. I'll be honest with you, help us now get to 1 million so we can also get that gold play button right there and hopefully cause a Meghan Markle meltdown on Instagram. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Also as well, if you've got some very strong opinions about Hazard's application, and I bet you do, then make sure you send me a super thanks. It's just below this video right here. We can have a conversation about this because it does guarantee a response from me. And until the next time, you guys, laters.